Yes, people, Team Talk Podcast, episode 51. Myself, Samuel Law. I got Coach with me.
Yes.
Shahab, welcome back.
Thank you, Sam. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, Shahab, you're going to see more of Shahab around the channel. Look out for some more content for Shahab where he's breaking down games, previewing big games as well. So you will see that on the channel soon. You know what? Spurs, let's get straight into it. Spurs, listen, one of the topics I had for the podcast today, yeah, especially at 3-0 up, was can Spurs, can Jose pull it off basically? Can he challenge for the title with the Spurs side? Yeah, because you're looking at it, free-flowing football. We'll get into what Jose can do later. But I mean, for them to just implode like that, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Spurs 3-0 up against West Ham. West Ham in the last 11 minutes, score 3, final score 3-3. Yeah, Coach, take the lead with that, man. take the lead.
I don't even know where to start with this match. Just top Spurs were comfortable. I think West Ham scored in the 80th minute or something like that.
Yeah.
His last 10 minutes.
79, yeah, 80.
Yeah, 80th minute. And it just went to crap for Spurs, to be fair. I mean, they were comfortable. I mean, we've seen the document. We keep going back to it, but we've all seen the documentary about Jose. Very adamant on stupid fouls.
Yeah, at half
giving
time.
them away.
Yeah, at half time. What would he have told them? Don't concede.
Yeah, because they know they can score goals.
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing about, for everyone knows. Yeah, the less you concede, obviously, the more chance you can obviously win the match and whatnot. So he's very simple like that. You're 3-0 up. Don't let them score the next goal. The next goal is either the heads are going to go down at 4-0 or you're going to let them back in. And they were doing what they needed to do at 3-0. 80th
second
minute,
half, you mean?
Second half, they were just seeing the game out. They were seeing... West Ham did come into it. They sat back, obviously, when you're winning 3-0. But by the 80th minute at 3-0, you're still expecting a team like Spurs to see it through.
No, but to touch on that though, yeah, Shahab, you see, like, there's certain managers, you know, when they're 3 up, they're just gonna keep on going for it. Yeah, their team's gonna play the same way. Like, you know, let's get 4, let's get 5. Jose, we all know Jose is the kind of manager. He's gonna be like, guys, we've scored 3. I'm not sure if he's saying sit back, but
You're not going to say sit back. You're not going to say sit back. You're
Yeah,
just going to
but-
be like, just mindful. Just be mindful now. Now you can't go... We're not playing 0-0. It's not 0-0. Just don't play like it's 0-0. Play like you're 3-0 up.
why
And just
can't
be
you?
smart.
Why can't? Fair enough.
Just be
fair,
smart with it.
Fair.
You know, like, for instance, sorry to cut you. So, if Højbjerg is going up, like Sissoko and Undembele, just sit. Be smart. You don't need all 3 of you going up trying to score a goal from midfielder. Just be smart. We're 3-0 up. We're not chasing the game.
What do you think Jose kind of should have said? Was it the right thing to say, or should he just said, listen, keep on playing?
But we don't know what he said.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, 3-0, 3 goals in the last 10 minutes. That's mad. It's just mad. You were saying off camera about the third goal, and Harry Winks, how he just backs out slightly. It's small things like that. Listen, it's a unbelievable hit. And
But his pet peeve is obviously like conceding at like, set pieces
Stupid
and
goals. It's like Sissoko, you're giving away a stupid foul. And not only to give away a stupid foul, you're the one who didn't even get up off the floor to head the ball when they got their first goal, correct?
Yeah.
So you gave away the foul, and then you went into the box to head the ball out.
Didn't even
and
jump.
you didn't even redeem your first mistake. You made a second mistake. And this is what allowed West Ham back into the game. And these are the things that Jose talks about. If you want to get to the next level with these players and whatnot, they have to understand that, listen, he comes down to, you can't be nice boys like that, but you can't be nice, but you also got to be smart. He also likes smart players. Guys, like the first goal that West Ham scored, that header, you saw the replay.
Yeah.
Even you were yelling at the TV. Sissoko, are you going to get off the ground? Like, are you going to get... He's doing this. He's turning his back like that whilst the person's headering it into your goal.
Yeah.
Does that look like someone that wants to see this game out?
well, comment on Sissoko. We all know Mourinho don't like him.
What, you don't think?
No, I think in the documentary, his assistant said to him,
He's the alpha. like,
he's one of the
main guys.
I think he was really
Let's
just
say-
surprised he was.
Yeah, he's just surprised.
I don't think he don't...
Because he wouldn't play him.
Yeah, he would. No, he wouldn't play.
know Jose.
He wouldn't play. But I think he was surprised that he was announced as Sissoko was a leader. I haven't seen it. But yeah, for me, it was just 10 minutes of absolute madness. But it's also 10 minutes of just Spurs. At the end of the day, it's the same old Spurs, and it's for me. Also, we got to touch on Gareth Bale at 3-2. Should have scored. Don't care if you're fit or not fit. The quality of player he is, the chance he had at 3-2, he's got to score that chance.
Yeah.
He's got to score. Great footwork from him. Beat the first man. I thought he was going to bend it far post, but he just wrapped his foot around trying to catch the keeper off guard and hit the near post, but he just dragged
Let's
it wide.
talk about the good parts though of Spurs, because I mean that first half, the way they started the game, I know we're starting to see kind of Kane in that kind of quarterback style role where he's got the runners and he's just spraying, the ball over to Son and Bergwijn. But I mean, Kane, I want to give him a shout out because Kane is like, he's a couple of years back, I don't think he does this. I don't think he does this, and I think he's maturing now, and he realizes that okay, I can't be greedy and just try bag all the goals. So he's actually bringing players through. You understand? Like Son and he and Son, the connection is second to none.
To be fair, I know why he's now doing this though, in terms of Kane, because remember with the old Spurs and Pochettino, Dele Alli was playing that position, so he needs to be further up the pitch because Dele Alli was making them late runs into the box and late runs in behind, balls over the top, stuff like that. But now there's a gap there because Jose looks like he's playing three in midfield with a triangle, so 1 and a 2. If you have 1 and a 2 and you've got 2 wingers, there's a gap in between. There's a hole in the midfield where you can drop deep, and then you've got Son and whoever it is, Bergwijn today and Bale, who can make those inside runs, who have pace. So they can occupy the back four while Kane drops. And that's why when Kane receives the ball, he's always on a half turn because he's very smart.
Very
he gets on a half turn and he can pick a pass.
But Son is always one-on-one against a defender.
Yep,
He's always putting in the back of the net. As a good player, I noticed it against Southampton. I think 4 of the goals were like that.
Yep.
Yeah, so whatever Dele Alli was doing, Kane is now actually doing better.
Yes.
But for sure, he's the complete forward that everybody, a lot of people say about what does he do except for score for goals. You see what he's doing now.
Yeah.
Does more than that. Like you said, quarterback type of role. And Son is ridiculous, world-class player. His first goal was well taken as well. I saw that before I came here. So,
which I feel probably in training, they've worked on it. And that's why Ali can't get into the squad. Ali can't play anywhere else. If he can't play in behind the striker as a second striker supporting, where's he going to play? You're not a winger.
He's not going to play
centre midfield. You don't have the discipline. You're not a DM. So where can you play? So right now, Jose's probably stumbled on a recipe that, you know what, Kane, if you drop in, we have Bale, we have Mora, we have Son, we have all these wingers that have got pace that can occupy the back four. So you drop in, do what you need to do. You might suck out a defender and whatnot, just like the Man United match. You see when he dropped into midfield, Maguire followed him, left the gap, quick thinking, quick free kick, straight to Son, who was running in behind Bailly, went in and scored.
And Kane is still going to score. Like, as you've seen, he's still going to get in around the danger zones, But Shahab, so like I said, they started with Kane, Bergwijn and Son, 3-0 up. And you're thinking, wow, Gareth Bale stood on the bench. Now, what do you think Bale can bring to this team? Because me, this is what I was going to bring up. I was waiting for this podcast to bring up, Has Bale still got the legs in terms of what we're talking about, how Kane drops deep and he's playing the wingers through? Is Bale still going to get down that line and, make those runs?
Well, it's interesting because I would like to have a proper opinion about it, but I'm not actually sure. But in terms of legs, obviously a guy getting older, so we're not sure. Of course, he's going to bring that quality, and that's why it's a signing that Spurs fans and everybody should be excited about the Premier League as a whole.
But are you worried as an opposing fan? Are you like, if Bale kind of relives the form of the past?
Well, they could become. Well, I think Kane and Son are the best duo right now in the Premier League anyway, as a trio. We'll see. Because
there's a lot of selfish runs. There's a lot of unselfish runs.
I saw bits and pieces today when he came on. Bits and pieces. There was a couple of times where Kane's looking for Son, then he's looking for... They were making an inside run. It was so dangerous. And all it is for Bale right now, he just needs to get fit. I think once Bale is fit and he gets the match fitness underneath his belt, you're going to see a sharp Gareth Bale. Because like I said, going back to the chance that he missed, that was Bale right there. That's an unfit Bale, by the way.
Did he take any defenders on today, or?
No, I don't think he was. He wasn't in that position where he was receiving the ball out wide to run at the fullback. He was doing the inside, like you said, the unselfish run in terms of runs off the ball. He was doing more of that instead of waiting on the outside to receive the ball and then do his dribbling, which I think he's got to change up his game right now.
That's what I'm getting at. So
I think he's gonna have to, because I can see that obviously with Ali being at the team, Kane is going to drop in more and more to each match. Cool, no problem. That means we need 2 people either side of Kane to make them runs. So if Bale wants to play, and obviously Son's going to play, Son, is unselfish anyway if he runs, Bale has to do the same thing.
There's going to be a problem because most teams are now playing high line anyway. And once you've seen how Son is like 1v1 with Bale.
Yeah.
The fact of Bale will occupy certain teams. Just the fact that Bale is there, you can't just run into Kane and try and nick the ball off Kane, because if he spins you, he plays that ball in behind.
Because even Declan Rice couldn't handle him in the first half. He couldn't get around Kane. Kane was, getting into that pocket, and you're thinking Declan Rice is defensive mid, he's supposed to be picking him up. Kane was just, bossing it. It does sound silly now, but it's still kind of a valid question. Yeah, can Jose, based off the start of the season, it's very unpredictable. You've got Everton at the top of the league right now. Teams are inconsistent. We'll touch on Liverpool after this, but teams are going to drop points, and obviously Spurs did drop points here. But can Jose do something with his team this season?
Well, he's got a new assistant manager, Sacramento, and he looks like he's playing a new style of football. I'm impressed. I don't know how other people feel about Tottenham. I like the way they play. The new signing Højbjerg as well. I'm still unsure about the new fullbacks they've signed, because
who's that? Reguilon?
No, I mean, Doherty is a wing back at Wolves. Yeah, and I think they need a bit of someone who's disciplined. And to sign probably one of the highest a bit of fullbacks out there in Doherty, strange signing for me. And then Reguilon for me, I don't really rate defensively, having watched him at Real Madrid and Sevilla. Yeah, but I'm impressed. So I can understand why you're saying that question. Dark horses, the way the Premier League's going now, the way teams are defending. But I just feel that defense there is not good enough. They don't have any good centre backs, to be honest. One's gone to Benfica. Alderweireld is not playing. Sanchez, no good. Dyer, awful. But they're a joy to watch. They are going to be a joy to watch. I watched them play against Newcastle and they drew 1-1, obviously with the handball shout, whatever. And I was impressed. But to say dark horses or to win the league,
you don't see it.
Not with that defense. And I know everybody's poor defensively, and I get it. But I just can't see it with that back four and with Dyer and Sanchez at the back.
Yeah.
I think Tottenham should try whatever they can in their power to win the Carling Cup this season. That is Tottenham's next step, is the Carling Cup victory, in my mind.
Carabao, yeah.
Sorry, it's not Carling. Carabao Cup. That is got to be their number one target this season. Because for me, if Jose wins that trophy, because that's all Spurs fans are crying out for right now. And they've done the top four thing. Okay, Jose, you get us top four. Okay, no problem. That's great for Levy and the club as a whole, but Pochettino done that for us. Pochettino also got us to the Champions League final. So you're not doing nothing that we ain't seen. But if you can win us a trophy at Wembley, okay, Jose, we're now starting to believe in what you're doing, because you've come in here and season and a half, and you've won us a trophy. Yeah, it's not the biggest, but you have to start somewhere. When the cycle of changing your mindset to top four to winning changes, you need to start somewhere. And Carabao Cup is a great place to start. And they're in the quarterfinals right now? Yeah, they're in the quarterfinals. I think they're in the quarterfinals. So for me, they have to try their hardest to win that cup. That's what I would go for.
I think they will, simply because I think only he will take it.
Yeah, he takes them cup seriously.
Yeah. I saw his reaction when they beat Chelsea in penalties. Yeah, it was quite funny actually. But no, you're right. Like you said, Tottenham fans want a trophy.
I think he knows getting top four, it's been done. Getting a trophy has not been done for how long? Spurs fans will take to him more when he wins a trophy. That's what will happen for me.
I hear that though, coach, 100%. But I feel his mentality, he definitely wants to get top four as well, and I think he can. I think what people will say: United, Arsenal, Everton, Leicester, whatever. Tottenham are up there as well.
Oh, yeah,
Tottenham are up there, but I don't know, man. I think if you gave Jose this season top four or winning a trophy, I think winning a trophy will help him more, especially adhere to the fans, the fan base itself, because now. Don't forget, there's a little bit of the fan base that are still and ahhing about Mourinho, because his thing has always been wherever he goes, he wins trophies. So if he came to Spurs and won a trophy, I think the fans would just be like, Jose, you know what? Some of us were on the fence about you, but now we're not. Because what you said on the tin comes true. When you come to clubs, you win trophies. No matter what the trophy is, you win trophies. You're one of the few managers that wherever you go, you win trophies. So now we're fully backing you now.
And also, I don't think to kind of carry on to what you said, Shahab. The defense is not good, and you to win the league, you need somewhat good, decent defense. His defense is not good enough, and it might be more suited to that cup.
They're not gonna. For me, they're not gonna. I'll be very surprised if they challenge this season. But the way everything's going on right now, the Premier League,
That's what I'm saying.
everything's just up in the air. So you just don't know.
Yeah, beautiful segue, man. Let's segue straight onto the big news. Before we'll touch on the game, but the big news is Virgil van Dijk is out, ACL, 9 months.
Was that confirmed?
Confirmed.
Yeah.
Pickford, you've opened up the title race. Shahab, so let's touch on the game first. Then we could talk about kind of what you think Liverpool can do this season. But how do you think the game went yesterday? I mean, 2-2. Did you see it being a draw? Did you think Liverpool were going to win it?
I think before the game, I was probably the most nervous I've ever been playing Everton.
Serious. That just shows how much they pushed
But I
on.
think more to who we've got in goal, Adrian, simply because of that. I thought Liverpool was superb yesterday. First half, really, really good. Henderson, Thiago, Fabinho, that midfield three did everything. Fabinho on the ball back, quickly played it to the front three. Henderson, the energy, and Thiago, as soon as he had 10 minutes in that game, set the tempo.
Yeah.
Allen and Gomez and Doucouré, all over the place. And Liverpool set the tone. Robertson, fantastic final third. Mane, world class. Firmino was dropping back. His final third went great. And even Salah had 2 tame shots in the first half. But the thing about Salah is he'll have a tame shot and he'll just score a banger.
Yeah.
And he did that in the second half. I think Everton played okay in the second half as well.
First half, they didn't play how we thought they were going to play, the neutral.
Yeah.
You know, Everton have been doing very well, but they started quite slow. Obviously, they conceded a goal early.
But Liverpool came firing out, and they needed reaction when you lose 7-2 against Aston Villa. Thank God we're not going to speak about that today, but they needed the reaction. They got that reaction. Klopp said after the game, that's what we needed. I think it's very early for me to say, but I don't think we'll ever see Liverpool perform like that again this season, at least, because.
What last season's what you done last season? You mean?
No, I mean after the Villa game.
After the Villa game,
I don't think we'll have that sort of performance again. Of course, Villa had the slice up with a couple of deflections, but obviously they still scored and we didn't block them. So I think Liverpool was superb. Scored 2 goals. Well, they scored 3 in my opinion. But they were really good. I was really proud of Liverpool yesterday, and the reaction was superb. And we got to get onto the VAR.
Yeah, let's talk about the decisions actually. So.
Pickford first?
Pickford.
So
what? Yeah.
So my thing with Pickford was I thought because it was offside, they cannot go to a next incident because the offside has stopped the original incident. Because it's offside, that's where it stops. Anything happens after that is now irrelevant. Now I've seen on Sky Sports that VAR are allowed to go to Pickford's incident if the VAR told the referee go and have a look. So it's not as 2 separate incidents. It's actually, if it's happened, VAR are allowed to look at it. Why they didn't look at it, I don't know. Now, this is where it's a bit up and down with the VAR and offsides, yeah? Virgil van Dijk was offside clearly. The assistant referee...
Was it clearly offside?
It wasn't clearly for me even.
Where the assistant referee was, you can clearly see that Van Dijk was offside. Normally, before VAR, he would just put his flag up and the game would have been dead. Now they've been instructed to let the game go.
Yeah.
If Virgil van Dijk scores and you think it's offside,
Then you
put
can
your
put
flag
it
up so we can look. And if it's not offside, it's a goal. So this is where you get the negative side of it.
Yeah.
Because they've allowed it to play on, Pickford's just played on as normal. Whereas usually the flag would go up, everyone would stop, let the ball go out of play. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a difficult one. It's a horrendous challenge.
Should he have been sent off?
He
then?
should have been sent off. It's a horrendous. It's a career-ending challenge. It's ridiculous. Pickford's like that anyway. Like,
He's very rash.
He's just anyway.
You know what? It's fair enough. I forgot about that. So Sky Sports clearing that, but it's a disgraceful challenge.
Yeah,
it's a disgrace. Like you said, he's out for 9 months. You know, I'm coming here, Samuel. You picking me up. I'm stressed. I'm being honest because. We've only got 2 fit centre backs.
Yeah.
Fabinho's our 4th choice centre back now, if anything. It's a disgrace. And 2 years ago, if any Tottenham fans are listening to the podcast, you would have known what Pickford did to Dele Alli. and he could have actually ended Dele Alli's.
So he's got that in him, you're saying, yeah?
He's got that in him, and he'll do it again. But he's a disgrace. Everton fans deserve better than Pickford as it is. I don't like Everton. I'm sure you guys don't care, but you won't know anyone that hates Everton more than me. They signed the goalkeeper, Olsen from Roma. He's got to come in straight away. That's a disgrace what Pickford did. And
we'll talk about Van Dijk, but what? Yeah, the winner. What could have been the winner? I mean, that's not offside. That is not offside.
I mean, as much you know me, I hate Liverpool more than anyone, but it's not offside.
That's not offside.
If we're picking at offsides for that, then the game's just done. That means you need to be a yard in front.
Yeah, to show that
you're to show that. Come on, man, that is not.
What happened to level?
When I'm seeing when I'm seeing them on live TV,
moving the line,
trying to move in the line, like you're looking for something, like you're looking for it's the hair on his elbow offside. It's not offside. It's not.
I think with the Premier League, they just want to. It's so difficult to score. They're just looking to excuse to disallow a goal. I think that's what it is. So far this season, they're now allowing excuses for it to be a penalty with the handball. The consistency there is not right. If in the World Cup and in the Champions League as well, that they're not giving that offside. But Mane's not even leaning forward, so how can it be offside? You know.
And what part? And didn't he control the ball with his foot? His both feet were onside. So if his left foot was out or whatever, and he controlled with his left, then you could say he's seeking advantage on. But you're going to his elbow. His elbow, and you're putting a red line on his.
You're drawing the lines. The lines are moving. It was moving. I was like, no.
I was like, no way you're gonna call this offside. And then obviously Ancelotti was just.
Well, I was going nuts.
Yeah, that was
goal. Yeah. And then my brother was like, calm down. You need to see the replay. I've seen the replay clearly on. I said it's on. I said it's clearly on, but they're getting the lines like you said. The lines to the elbow. But I think I saw a graphic that after maybe your bicep or something,
they don't conclude it.
But so why is he looking at his elbow? It's strange. But I know you guys are both Manchester United fans.
No. We know.
I was just gonna say basically the VAR referee. His name is David Coots, and he's from Manchester. Well, think of it as but
listen.
The views of the cast members doesn't reflect the channel.
Just their personal opinion.
Coach, what does this do now? This Van Dijk injury. What do you think it does for Liverpool? Can they kind of?
It's yet to be seen. Listen, Van Dijk has always been a mainstay in the team, so it's yet to see.
And no Alisson as well.
Yeah.
Or is it 6 weeks?
Yeah, Alisson will be back in 2 weeks. Yeah, he should be back soon. But Van Dijk, he's gonna be a massive miss. And listen, we just got to see. It's either gonna bring Liverpool squad together to concentrate a bit more and different ideas on how to defend. Because a lot of the times when Liverpool are defending, they can rely on Van Dijk in certain situations.
I was just gonna say that Trent and those guys, they're not really the best defensively. They kind of use Van Dijk as he's gonna save us.
And also as well, you look at Everton's first goal, Michael Keane. Who would have been in that area if he was on the pitch? It probably would have been Van Dijk to head that ball out. So these are the things now from corner kicks. You're going to have teams assessing Liverpool when Van Dijk, obviously, their higher ratio of clearing the ball is much higher when Van Dijk is there than when he's not. So people are going to be attacking Liverpool from that perspective. You can get a free kick, put it in the box, see what they like.
Lump the ball forward.
And stuff like that, because obviously most teams are not going to beat Liverpool just playing football for football. It's not going to happen and whatnot. So it just remains to be seen. Me personally, I think there's certain games that you're just going to see that if Van Dijk was there, it'd be a different outcome. We wouldn't be conceding those 2 goals or the odd goal and stuff. But it's waiting to be seen.
Well, the indication that I have is the first 2 full seasons with Klopp. He didn't have Van Dijk, and Liverpool would always score 3 or 4 games. They'll win games 3-2, 4-3.
Yeah.
I think that could probably happen again.
Yeah.
Joe Matip's a good defender, very good defender, great on the ball, but he's always 6 games and he's out.
But he's good with Van Dijk. Everyone next to Van Dijk is better with Van Dijk. Van Dijk makes them look. He makes Joe Gomez look better than he is. He makes Matip look better than he is. But now they're playing together.
It brings a calmness.
Yes. Now they're playing together. It's going to be very interesting to see. Very, very interesting.
Time will tell. I get what you're saying 100%, but the indication I have is just from the 2 first full seasons with Klopp. There's a lot of goals going in and also coming out as well. But I'm a fan of Gomez and Matip. They're my guys as well. And I think with Liverpool as well, they got Fabinho as the other centre back who could play there. So what Liverpool probably need to do now in games is dominate the games.
No, you can't change the whole system now.
I don't know. You don't know though, but you don't know. They have to go and analyse it now.
No, I think they'll play a couple of games and see how.
No, I'm just saying go to back 3 permanently. I'm saying you might see in the big games they might go into a back 3 or something.
What's your hunch telling you though? You reckon you can retain the title?
No.
Oh wow, serious? How comes?
Well, okay, so let me ask you guys a question then. Who's a more bigger miss, Van Dijk or Mane/Salah?
Mane's a big miss, you
Yeah,
know.
Mane's a big miss.
So if Mane was out, do you think we'd win the league?
Nah.
So if Van Dijk is out, you think we can still win the league without Van Dijk?
But you know what? You
the
know,
way he's putting
but like you just said, the first couple of years of Klopp, as in like you lot just might go for the jugular now in terms of goals, which you have that, and they might switch their mindset now. Like we can't just rely on Van Dijk. Like the more onus is going to be put on the attackers now.
Yeah.
Firmino, you can't go a whole season without not scoring at home. Yeah, we need about 10 goals at Anfield from you this season. The onus just got to be put on the other part of the team, you know, because Van Dijk is not coming back anytime soon. So guys, listen, we need to start scoring more goals.
But our centre backs are better than Man City's, the current one, bar Liverpool today.
Yeah, that's a
so
good
I think
segue.
it's a good point what you say. Maybe because you've asked me and Van Dijk's news came out an hour ago. I'm not sure. I don't think we can. Then again, it's hard to say who is going to win.
Yeah,
the
look,
league.
we're going to touch on City now. Before we get on to the City, actually, let's talk about Everton quickly. What do you think Everton can do this season? Because they're top of the league right now.
Well, Everton, I think they knew what the level was yesterday. Like they, as much as they've had a good start, they know that, you know what, there's a lot of work to do. Obviously, everyone knew this. Everton's not going to be. No one's thought about Everton straight away, but for the start that they've had, and they've only got one game a week this season, they ain't got no Europe and stuff like that. They can regroup and come back every few days and whatnot.
Yeah, and I feel like people have been sleeping on that coach. I don't know how you can kind of disrespect Ancelotti. He's a dinosaur. I've been hearing all this stuff.
But like I said, with every other coach, you're gonna judge them when they have got their players in.
And about that as well.
And
though.
the club
And
he has pinpointed certain players that he's worked with before that will work for him. Do you know what I mean? So Everton have gone in there and they've backed him. They haven't told him, "Oh, you're the head coach and have to coach these players that we give you." He's gone in there and pinpointed Alan. He's pinpointed James
He
Rodriguez.
deserves that respect.
Yeah.
He's won 3 Champions Leagues, bro.
But that's my whole point. He's pinpointed players that he wants to play with.
Because before
and then you judge him.
Yeah, Everton were kind of, they've spent money, you know, over a couple of years, but the players that they bought,
It's random. It felt random.
Now that Ancelotti's here, he's getting the players he wants. Like even Decore, that's not by chance. He knew what they
No,
what
he
kind of
knows
what they
from
want.
Watford last season. He knows he's played against him. He knows that. Oh, okay, if this guy was in our team,
And
whatnot.
Decore is a solid player.
Yeah, and he's, you know, what it is because the midfield three, Alan, Gomez, and Decore all do different things.
Yeah.
So they balance each other out in that midfield. So
And James Rodriguez, mate.
yeah, he's coming. He's coming
James
into form.
Rodriguez.
He played well yesterday. Him and Lucas Digne were really good. Well, second half he did.
Yeah.
Coming on to Everton, I actually think they can get in the Champions League because they're
Yeah, I think they
one game a
can.
week.
They can.
And Ancelotti, he's like I said, a serious man. You guys don't rate, well, you guys all rate Ancelotti, right?
Yeah.
I rate him,
Yeah. And I think just because of his pedigree and the way he's managing and the way he's getting that football, I think yesterday he played 4-3-3, but when he's not playing Liverpool or teams like Liverpool, he played Diamond, James Rodriguez, the amount of space he has, the way he's driving along with the ball, and then he can obviously play the ball over the top to Richarlison, who's got that pace, and Calvert-Lewin, who
Calvert-Lewin.
not like as good as Richarlison as a whole. Not that I rate Richarlison too highly, maybe I'm a bit bitter, but Calvert-Lewin is a goal scorer. That header was outstanding.
You see,
He's an old school number 9. He's old school number 9. Like the new school is like Kane dropping in the hole, Firmino dropping in the hole, playing that false 9. So, but he is literally, if you put a half decent cross in, I will get my head on that ball and whatnot. So
it was some leap.
yeah, it was a leap. He's done that a few times.
Yeah,
already
regardless
this
of that goal, actually, I think what it is, I've seen his grind. Like he's been grinding.
Yes.
And now it seems like it's coming together now.
Yeah.
If you get what I'm
Because
saying.
normally you would think that is he an Ancelotti player, but he's come in, and you need, once again, when you're playing the Premier League, you need the Calvert-Lewins up there for you.
He's aggressive.
Yeah, aggressive.
He's bullied Lindelof
Yes.
before De Gea. Remember that goal?
Yeah. So for me, Everton right now, as you said, they've got a good chance of getting top 4 with their fixture schedule and whatnot. They have a good chance of getting top 4, definitely. So,
But Pickford needs to be out of that team. Not just because he injured Van Dijk, because I don't think he's good enough. I think Pickford...
Even the goal that Mane scored that should have stood, that was Pickford's error. That it slipped through his hands. You know what I mean?
I think Pickford is the kind of like crazy that you need as a goalkeeper. Like literally, he will bang his head on the crossbar, bang his head on the post just to save a shot. You need
he made a solid save.
You need crazy keepers
he
like
made
that.
it-
But
he made
the
it
problem with
outstanding
him, he doesn't know when to turn the crazy off. He's just crazy all the time. Even the simple stuff to do, like seeing out play or his Van Dijk, he's just crazy all the time. Like when you see him, he just looks like he's wired up all the time. Like he's never like, you know, when keepers, it gets to a stage where, guys, let's settle this down. Settle that. He can't even settle himself down.
His distribution is good though. I think. That's why he keeps putting him in the side.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We're gonna touch on City, but before that, let's touch on the game. 1-0, they beat Arsenal. Kind of a drab game. What I want to take from the game, actually, what I want to speak about is, I feel that Arteta, not that he was negative, but City, you can ask questions of that defense. You know, you can. Because the way the game went out yesterday, all right, City's Sterling scored, cool, but Arsenal had chances, and if they were more brave and kind of Arteta changed the system, of course they would be more vulnerable at the back. But City don't look invincible. What am I wrong here or what?
Well, I think City played the best they could without De Bruyne, firstly.
But that's my point. Like, there's they've got people.
I agree. Of course they can get out because they conceded 5 to Leicester against Leeds, vulnerable.
Exactly. Leeds were brave and they showed what can happen.
Yeah, but Leeds are playing off adrenaline.
Yeah, but Arsenal have got better players than Leeds.
But Leeds are playing off adrenaline. All these teams that come up, they all play off adrenaline. The second season...
I'm not going to just put it on that, because Bielsa, he knows what he's doing.
No, Bielsa knows what he's doing. I'm not saying that Bielsa doesn't, but I'm saying that they play off adrenaline. Like, they have the... Anyway, we'll speak about Leeds another time. But I'm saying, with teams like that, I think they play off adrenaline. They've got nothing to lose.
But that's what I'm trying to get at. I feel like, you see, sometimes the top managers, you overthink. We're going to Etihad, we need to do this, we need to... Sometimes just play.
But what I'm saying is that, you see, with Arsenal, a lot of people saying that, obviously I see their fan cams or whatever saying, oh, he could have changed this, he got this wrong, we could have went for him.
Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, a couple of them were saying that. But I'm just like, guys,
I felt that.
Guys, know who you are as well. Like, Arsenal, please, Arsenal fans, please don't jump the gun. Know who you are and what your team was before Arteta came. Yeah, before Arteta came, you were just horrible. You were horrible because before Arteta came, once Sterling scored that goal, I guaranteed I would have went out, got some dinner, come back, it would have been 5-0 in the past. But it wasn't 5-0 at the end of the day. Yes, people say, oh, it was a drab and whatnot. But you have to start beating the cities and that where Arsenal's position is in the stages. First, you're getting hit for 5, hit for 4 regular basis.
And they haven't won an away game against the top 6.
Then you're going in yesterday. Yeah, it was a drab. Maybe Arteta could have done it. Guess what? This is what he will learn from this game to the next game. So the next game they played, he will learn even more about City, about how we can attack them, how we can now go to Etihad with the confidence of attacking them and whatnot. You just don't go to the Etihad from where Arsenal came from and just say, oh yeah, this is not Wembley, a one-off cup tie where you can just let it all hang.
They've beat City in the past.
They beat City in the past, but at the same time, they're not on that level yet.
I think, Coach, you're right. You're 100% right. Don't get it twisted. But I think with Arsenal, Arteta himself would have felt they could have got something like that game. They could have.
If Saka dinks it over, or who else had a chance? Aubameyang, yeah.
Edison bailed them out. But City, they're always like dominant for half an hour or controlling the game.
Yes, this is what I'm trying to get to.
And then when you beat their fullbacks, problems. I think Xhaka played a really good ball to Saka. I was really impressed with it. And then he could have squared it across, and then someone cleared it out, and then Saka had the chance where Edison bailed him out.
Yeah.
It can be done.
But going back to your thing that you said about City, I think people are forgetting what City are going through. City are going through a transition. A lot of people are not clocking it because they've got such a good squad. People think that they still don't have to go through a transition. Don't forget, you've lost Sane, you've lost David Silva. Yesterday you didn't have De Bruyne. Then Aguero's getting these niggling injuries. And then Fernandinho's on the way out. You have to start replacing these 4 or 5 key players that you've had for the last 4 to 5 seasons.
You're confirming my point that teams need to identify that right now you can get at them.
No, but you keep saying
Stop looking at City as, we're going to get battered if we go for it.
But you say that, but also, like I said...
They've got quality players.
They've got quality players and they can hit you for free in 10 minutes. Easily.
But then they can also concede free. How Spurs did, where they
if you want to take that, for me, I didn't see any.
Teams be more brave, man. That's what I'm saying. I'm not just saying that as
yesterday. I saw progression from Arsenal. That's what I saw. Arsenal fans that saying they didn't see progression yesterday, you're too spoiled. Arteta maybe is giving you too much too early, and you feel you can just go to certain places and we should just attack them because they're back for. Come on, man. Gabriel's got to settle in. Partey's got to say, are you not seeing that Arteta's building the spine? Slowly but surely, he's building the spine of that team. Gabriel had a good game yesterday. Partey got a few minutes yesterday, and then maybe in the long term, Aubameyang goes back into the middle. That's a strong spine right there.
I want to ask you guys a question, because the way Arteta's playing at the moment, it looks like he has two banks of fours off the ball, and then when he gets it, he plays out the back, tries to get into the middle, and then bang, they out. Do you think that football is sustainable if he gets his better players in? Obviously, he can't play.
100%. I have Arteta for me. I've said it from day one, before even Arsenal got him. I think he's a good manager. I think he's a good. The fact that the way he's coming to Arsenal, and the way he's commanding presence. I told you already. I know people don't see it as a big thing. He's gone to the club and said, strip me of the title of head coach. I'm not a head coach here. I'm the manager. I'm the first team manager. He's gone to them and he's got that persona, and they trust in him. For me, when I see the club, they trust in him. But Arsenal have to be very careful for Arteta. Because you see how they buy him Partey, then you're buying Gabriel. If you don't follow through the transition like another club that I'm going to talk about soon, if you don't follow through the transition, let me tell you what Arteta's job is going to be at Arsenal fans. It's going to be work experience. And when Pep leaves Man City, and Man City's owners go to him and say, listen, we're going to back you, back you, Arteta, as much as you want. Come back to City. We've got the money. We will spend. So Arsenal, please be careful with Arteta right now. Don't play with him. Don't think that you're bigger than him right now, because he's creating something good. But once he goes through the transition and the cycle, back him to the end. Get your board to back him. Because if he doesn't back him, Arteta at Arsenal is going to be classified as work experience. That's what it's going to be classified as. And he will go back to Man City and do what he needs to do.
But he's been screaming that. So.
Yeah, but even the transition you were referring to about Fernandinho and players out, Sané, City lost Arteta. Pep basically. I'm not sure how much kind of say so Arteta had, but it seems like
you trust him.
It seems like he was a good number 2 for Arteta Pep.
He definitely trusts him, and like I said, for me, City, as much as they have that big squad, I'm telling you, Fernandinho, David Silva. Okay, De Bruyne's just injured, but he's still there. Then you got Aguero for me, who's past his prime at City right now for me, and whatnot, and replacing them players and Sané.
So wait,
it's not easy. It's not easy replacing them players, and then they still haven't replaced what company. Because we ain't seen no centre back come in and.
Well, you reckon Diaz?
I'll judge
60
Diaz.
million though. That's why they've spent that much money.
But
They
money to them,
bought
money to
Ake
them.
for 40.
Yes,
And
money's not a thing for City. It's
No,
just that I'll see Diaz at the end of the season. End of the season, I'll judge him.
Yeah, but Shahab, you said you don't think Liverpool's going to retain the title. So, are you saying City or you're thinking someone else?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Because if it's not Liverpool, then you're sure.
It's got to be City, isn't it? But
so with everything you said, you still think City might lift will lift the title basically.
It's tight, Sam. I can't say like you said.
It's early days.
People ask me what you think the top 4 is going to be after 5 games. Maybe you'll have an indication from a normal
Christmas.
season. Yeah, but this time you have to wait till January or February to think of something. And I think it's the same with Liverpool, Man City. But I think with Man City, I'll say it again, they need to play Fernandinho. I know they played Rodri yesterday. And
I don't rate Rodri,
I don't rate
you
him.
do. I know.
I didn't say I rate him.
No,
I'm
had
saying,
a thing about him. I don't rate Rodri.
I'm saying if you've got Fernandinho there and you need someone to bring in as a squad player, Rodri is a good player. I think he's a good player.
Yeah, but
is he
he's a starter.
Fernandinho? No, he's not.
He's a star.
That's why I just said they have to replace Fernandinho. I don't even think they've replaced David Silva. Don't give me this Phil Foden nonsense either.
They left out Fernandinho against Leicester and they brought Rodri in and they got slapped 5-2. I think that's just the difference.
They haven't replaced Kompany or Fernandinho.
I'm going to disagree. I just think with Diaz, they've signed Diaz and they spent 60 million. Which I know you're saying money's not a problem.
But they spent 50 on Kyle Walker. They spent 50 on Mendy.
40,
the money thing with City is not because we've bought him for big money, that means he's going to turn into... It's just, listen, the club's saying we have to pay 60, Benfica. We got to pay 60. Like, that's it. It doesn't really say that, like, this is how much he's going to be.
You said something about Foden just now. You said, don't tell me about Foden.
Yeah, but I said they got to replace David Silva, but don't give me Phil Foden. I'm not having that.
Pep purposely is, he didn't replace Silva. He feels that Foden can do that.
No, if he feels that he can do that, no problem. But I'm saying don't give me Foden. That's not a like-for-like replacement for me. Yes, he's left-footed, wonderful. But for me... David Silva is a different breed of player.
100%.
So to replace that, and Sane is a big thing as well for me.
Yeah, big.
Sane and Sterling when they were playing as a tandem was scary.
Mahrez needs to do more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ollie. Don't look at your phone now, bro. Ollie. I mean, the thing is, do you think? All right, from a Liverpool perspective, yeah. Shahab, do you think Do you think there's been an overreaction on Ole? Because there were reports that if Ole lost against Newcastle,
Sugar levels up.
he was out. It was that if Ole lost against Newcastle, he's basically out.
That statement is overreaction. Do I think it's overreaction on Ole as a whole as a manager? No, I don't think so.
You don't think he's the guy?
No.
Elaborate, man. Elaborate. Why?
Elaborate.
You just don't think he's good enough?
No, I don't think he's good enough. I think from the early on, you can see this season. First of all, I just want to say, Man United, credit to them to being back into the Champions League. I think they deserve credit for that. Do I think Ole's the right man? No, because from playing Palace, Brighton, and Tottenham as well, 3 managers have outclassed him. How can Roy Hodgson outclass you? I actually was going to do a video for you guys, but we couldn't do it obviously because I don't Zoom or whatever. When he's sitting back, he can't do that every single game for me. And he can play counter-attack. Listen, you guys scored a brilliant second goal against Newcastle, by the way. And that is...
Counter-attack football, that's United.
And that's the best thing about Manchester United going forward. And I think on its day, if you're comparing everybody on the counter-attack, sometimes I just feel like Man United are the best when they get it right. But for me, he's not the right man, simply because the football that he's trying to play with Manchester United is just not...
You think it's dependent on the counter too much?
Way too much. How can you sit back against Crystal Palace? How can you sit back against Brighton?
Yeah, but we didn't really sit back against Palace, though.
Well,
we were just
Palace,
naive.
Palace
I think it's very naive for what he did. It was naive when I go back to my point in saying that once again you left 2v2 at the back. It was Zaha that on Ayew that was killing us.
So when you have the ball, so Crystal Palace might let you have the ball, or they did let you have the ball. How are you going to break them down? Because you couldn't break them down. That's the problem. What Crystal Palace actually did was they play those 2 set of banks of 4.
It was 4-5-1 they played even.
4-5-1, yeah. And the training work that Palace did, fair enough, was really well. Townsend, Schlupp, Tyreek Mitchell, my guy, who's my mate, who stopped Manchester United from passing into those lanes, into those final third lanes, and then they counter back. So fair enough, I can understand you saying you got into those 2v2 situations, but Solskjaer should know that, because if he was dominant on the ball, you know, there's got to be another way for you to break down. I'm just talking about the Palace game as a whole.
Me personally, I just don't think some of the players are good enough.
No, and I agree as well.
I just don't think I just think, me as a United fan, too many of our fans rate some of these players higher than they are, because like you said, when you're playing against a Palace like that who are very well organised, they don't have the IQ to pick up the right spaces. I don't rate Rashford as highly as everyone does. Let's just say that. I'm not saying that he's trash. I'm saying that as highly as everyone does. I don't rate Martial as highly as everyone does. We don't have anybody on the right hand side, so normally to me we just play a 2. We play a left forward and a centre forward. I know whoever's on the right is non-existent to me.
So don't you cut them some slack just based off that?
No. The only person I cut slack is Ole Solskjaer. Nobody else. in that Man United first team, players, staff, whoever, is Ole Solskjaer. Because once again, I go back to my point. It's just I'm not gonna get involved in the manager out stuff, because if a new manager comes in, it's going to be the same thing as the previous 3 managers. Ed Woodward is the problem at Man United. I'll repeat again for the people who love to put this whole Ole out, Ed Woodward is the problem. Why? Because Ole Solskjaer can clearly see, I can deal with Rashford on the left, no problem. I can have Martial in the middle as my number 9, no problem. But if I can add a top quality player like Sancho on the right hand side, where we have not had a right winger for God knows how long, and we've been chasing this guy for how long? We had from March, when we stopped playing football, to October 5th. And we couldn't even get his number 1 target over the line. And you want me as a fan to look at my manager and start blaming it. My manager's identified what is going to make the team better. His CEO has said to him, no, that's not going to make the team better. Otherwise, he would have brought that player in and whatnot. So now I'm going to sit here as a naive fan and talk about Ole's tactics and this and that. No matter what manager you are, even Pep Guardiola, if something is not right, what does Pep go and do? He goes and spend the money to get a better player.
Sorry to cut him. Even we were talking about Ancelotti earlier, but he's bringing the players he wants. Yeah.
Ancelotti's been backed. You can clearly see that the owners of Everton have come in with a project.
But wait, what would you say about to the fans and the people that say, but Ole should be doing better?
I'm saying leave Ole alone. Leave Ole alone. I know it's easy to talk about Ole. Leave him alone. I've said it already. I'm not saying that he's Pep. I'm not saying he's Klopp. I'm not saying he's Ancelotti. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, from what I've seen from Ole Solskjaer, he has the right mentality for the club. Unlucky for Ole Solskjaer and us fans, he loves the club too much. He loves the club too much, and that's to his detriment because he knows he's getting shafted by Woodward. Everyone knows he's getting shafted by Woodward, but guess what? This is Ole's dream job. A lot of people online saying that, oh, if Ole really loved the club, he would just step aside if he's not getting these players. But guess what? If Ole steps aside from Man United, where's he going? That's his dream job. So he loves United to a fault where he will go down with this burning ship, yeah, rather than hold his head up high and say, you know what, this is what I've asked for, Ed Woodward, and you haven't delivered, but you want me to deliver for you. You want me to go and get top 4. You want me to go and play a PSG and these sort of teams. But I'm asking you for Jadon Sancho. I'm asking you for Jack Grealish. I'm asking you for certain players so we can improve our first 11. Have we improved our first 11? No. We haven't even improved our first 11.
You know what, Coach? Yeah, you're right. Firstly, Ed Woodward is the main one. So he's saying leave Ole Gunnar Solskjaer alone. Fair enough. I can understand you saying that. With Woodward, from what I've read, was with the Sancho one, the deadline was 11th of August to get that done. They didn't do that. Ed Woodward, I just feel like he goes into the mentality where, okay, we're Manchester United, you're going to come over, you're going to bend over to us. That didn't happen. Dortmund, very well run club. They already signed Jude Bellingham off Manchester United. They know, ahead of Manchester United, sorry. And so Ed Woodward, definitely a problem. Our guy, sorry to bring Liverpool in, Michael Edwards, genius.
Top guy.
Get Thiago 25 million. Spend just 5 million on Jota for now, obviously, until things get better. It's the way it's negotiated. So you're 100% right, Coach, and I respect that. And I respect your passion as well, to be fair to you. And
I'm just not going. I'm not doing what.
But he still needs a better manager.
No, I'm not saying that we don't. But what I'm saying is that right now, until Ed Woodward goes, whoever is a better manager than Ole, he's going to get the same treatment. He's going to look at the squad and say, you know what? Like for instance, I'll give you an example. A lot of people in our group and stuff like that and online talking about Pochettino. I've already seen the videos. Pochettino in, Ole out, Pochettino this. When is Pochettino coming? You put Pochettino in our situation, look at Spurs' squad. Whose squad's better? Our squad or Spurs' squad? And he couldn't get that squad over the hump. So what's he going to do with these players? And what? He's not necessarily going to get them over the hump. You ain't won no trophies. You won the same thing Ole's won. Yes, you might be a better X and O's guy in terms of wins and losses with Ole. But what makes us so sure that you're going to come to the same thing all these other managers come to?
It's still a risk.
Ed Woodward is still there. What I don't understand about Ed Woodward is that when he came out with statements years ago talking about, oh, we can only do things that other clubs can dream of. That's right, because financially we're very big. We've got a lot of money. But the problem is what he doesn't realise is that Alex Ferguson got us to this point. But Alex Ferguson got us to this point where we didn't have a sugar daddy for our owner who was just giving out money. He kept on winning and winning and winning. And it was just winning. That was just pumping the money into the club. Winning. Sponsors coming, winning. The sponsors want to be associated with winners. That's what they want to do, which is why we had money to go and buy a Rooney for 30 mil, go and buy a Rio for 30 mil when other clubs couldn't do it because we were the ones winning and bringing in the money. But because now the way the structure of football is, you've got business people in charge. Like I said, what's your guy's name again? Michael Edwards. I don't even know what he looks like. I don't even know what Michael Edwards looks like. I didn't even know his name until you just told me. But I know deals get done. I can clearly see that Klopp has identified Jota. I can clearly see that Klopp has identified Thiago. Now, Michael Edwards, can you go and get the job done?
Do you want a director of football?
Yes. Our director of football should be Ole Solskjaer.
He's not going to do your negotiations, though. That's the problem.
Our director of football should be Ole Solskjaer. I will give him that respect.
I'll tell you what, director of football is needed for Manchester United, but for sure, like managers shouldn't really be getting involved in all sorts of that negotiation sides. It's always different. I get what you're saying.
I think the way his passion is for the club and the players that he's brought in, the profile of players, he understands the club. And to be director of football, you need to understand the club, and I think he does. I think he understands the club. Now, someone like if he was working alongside Pochettino, where he was the director of football, I think they would work hand in hand because Pochettino would deal with. Pochettino is better as a coach on the pitch, but I also feel that Ole Solskjaer understands the characteristics you need to become a Man United player.
I want to know what your argument is. What I'm going to say here now, right? So I just feel like under Mourinho and Van Gaal, they signed certain amount of players in a specific position, and they didn't go high. I think Van Gaal finished 5th, Mourinho 6th. And because Manchester United finished that in that position,
Jose second, You finished second.
Second, and then was it sixth?
No, sixth and then second.
The
sixth Europa League. That
Oh,
same
oh,
season,
was
then
it
second.
like that?
Yeah.
So okay, all right. So then Mourinho was obviously crying out for a defender. He didn't get it. I know he spent money on Lindelof and a few other players, and I just feel I'm not backing Woodwards, by the way. Sorry.
Okay.
But he spent 80 million on Maguire and 50 million on Aaron Wan-Bissaka. So that's 130 million. If my maths is good, right? So do you think that is the reason why he wasn't backed? Solskjaer, simply because he spent so much money as it is. I know.
No, but those signings that he's brought in.
Maguire was
Maguire's worked.
Listen, I've told people this already. Maguire and Wan-Bissaka, have improved our defense. If you look at our defensive record, it's been good. Now, if you look at our defense and say, do you think they can go for the title right now? No. But I feel that if our 11 were improved in front of them, we could go for the title. That's what I feel. I feel if the 11 hasn't improved in front of them.
Wan-Bissaka, yes. Centre backs, Maguire, Lindelof, no. I have to disagree.
But I've said this about Lindelof way back in our previous podcast. Lindelof and Bailly was not supposed to be the first choice centre backs. They were supposed to replace Phil Jones and Chris Smalling as the B centre backs, as squad centre backs. It was supposed to be Maguire and somebody else. Now, for me, from what I've seen from reliable sources and whatnot, it was Upamecano that he wanted.
I mean,
alongside everything, and they pulled the plug on him. So it was Upamecano, Sancho, and Grealish. Those are the three players he identified to improve the first 11. Would they have improved the first 11?
Yes,
I think they would have.
Yeah, of course they would.
Ed Woodward didn't go and get done. So guess what? I'm not on Ole Solskjaer's back. I'm not falling for it again. I'm on Ed Woodward's back. Nothing's going to change at United.
This would be Moyes, LVG, Jose, and now Ole under the same
same regime.
The common denominator would be Ed Woodward.
Exactly. So for me, I'm not getting involved in Ole out. Even if I don't think Ole's good enough, I'm not getting involved in Ole out at all. I'm on Ed Woodward out. Ed Woodward out. Simple.
Sorry. Sam, I was going to say on Maguire, when you spend £80 million on a defender like that, I think you know the stats that you're saying defensively. You think that Manchester United have done better. They have. Don't get me twisted. But I just feel like sometimes you got to see the bigger picture. You see Maguire at fault for many Manchester United goals. He's an £80 million centre back. I know what he's been through this summer, Mykonos and whatever, and I know the start that he's had has not been good enough. For me, I just don't think Maguire is good enough. So that I felt Sancho, you should have signed. You had to get one more attacker, yes. But I feel like for Manchester United, they didn't sign a single centre back this summer.
I think the Maguire thing is very overblown. I think he's a cheapskate. But like I said, if you didn't buy Van Dijk for 75 mil and he's doing what he's doing, we're not talking about Maguire at the end of the day. You've already said before, English players, inflated prices. We know Maguire at most is a 50 million player. But Leicester had him under contract. We wanted him. Jose actually wanted him, not Ole Solskjaer. Jose wanted him before. City put in 70 mil. A lot of people forget about that. They put in 70 mil. We put in 10 mil more. Leicester accepted our thing. Pep ain't going to go for someone like Maguire if he doesn't believe in him and whatnot. It's just Maguire, he's just been caught out because to me, he's the only one back there. When I look at United's defence, if he gets exposed, the whole thing is exposed. Now, guess what? If you put Upamecano next to him and whatnot, you're now going to see a partnership. That's the difference. Even with Virgil van Dijk, you guys got Van Dijk. He doesn't do everything by himself because with him and somebody else that complements what he does, it makes him look even better than he is as well. Do you get what I'm saying? So for me, Ole has not been backed. So I'm not going after Ole. I don't care if we win against Newcastle. I don't care if we lose against PSG. I don't care if we get battered by Chelsea next weekend. I'm not on the Ole out thing at all because he's been blindsided, cheap shots, whatever you want to call it. Ed Woodward out. Did I say that already? Ed Woodward out.
Cool. So that, yeah.
So yeah. Project big picture. What do you guys think about it?
Explain this. I actually don't even understand what's going on. I know.
The gist of it is, Man United and Liverpool are leading it. They want more power if they're going to help the lower league. So everyone's been yelling out for why don't the Premier League? They make so much money. Why don't they help out the lower league? So they've said, okay, well, let's make a deal that helps everybody. We want more power in terms of how the Premier League runs as the big 6 teams. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna have 9 teams who can only vote. But if we want to change something, it only needs 6 votes basically. So that's just basically saying the top 6. That's what they're saying. But at the same time, we'll give a big payment to all the lower league clubs and whatnot, and they might receive more revenue than we've been giving them. I think they've been giving them 7% or something like that each season, but it rises to 25%. So basically, yes, the lower leagues get helped out, but in terms of moving forward, the bigger picture is basically the top 6 teams in the Premier League will make up virtually all the rules. So if there's anything that needs to be voted on right now, every club has a vote in the Premier League, 20 teams. Now it will go down to 9 teams, but only 6 have to vote for the thing to pass. Basically, so it would be, let's say for instance, I don't know, 6 substitutes. Let's say something wild like that. The vote would be between the 9 clubs. So it's the top 6 clubs and the 3 most clubs that have been in the Premier League the longest. That's who's in the top 9.
Why is this happening?
This is what Liverpool's put out. It's based Liverpool. The owners of Liverpool have put this out, and they've been backed by the Glazers.
What's going on, bro?
So this is my whole point.
Like, it's about, it says about power.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it. I think it's a disgrace, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's just...
You know, like John Henry, I'm a big fan of our owner, Joe Glazer. Americans, I don't know why.
Yeah, they want to change it to look like the American
It's the
format.
NFL thing. It's the NFL format where in NFL, it doesn't... The number 1, there's no relegation. Number 2, there's always a different team winning each year. So
They
you never
want
know who
18
wins.
teams in the league, I saw as
Yeah.
well.
18 teams,
And then the stupid thing about it as well, they're saying that the 3rd, 4th and 5th place in the championship will go into a playoff with the 16th. I don't know, what did they say?
Yeah.
The 16th, the 18th or the 17th placed
Or the relegation
team.
teams.
Yeah, the relegated.
So
Whoever
they-
finished 17th in the Premier League will go into a playoff.
Oh, so they can still stay up
With the
then?
third, yeah, they can still stay up if they win the playoff, which is probably going to be unfair anyway.
But that's what they do in Germany. That's why they've come up with that plan.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
Germany
It's
as
like,
a
I don't
whole.
agree with it,
Yeah, it's just for me. It was just looking at the whole thing. It was literally, come on, EFL teams. You say you want the money, don't you? You're desperate. You're gonna fold. You're gonna go under. Here's a 250 balloon payment, but you must side with us when we're trying to make decisions in the Premier League if you want to do it. So that's all it was. It was just an enticement to the EFL teams that are struggling. Because if you're in the lower leagues and you need $1 million or you need $2 million just to keep your club above water at the moment with the pandemic and all that, you're going to look into this deal. But if you're a Premier League club, wait a minute. So we get a vote when anything happens, but now we won't get a vote because we're not part of the top 6 or whatever it is. So basically it's just a top 6 thing.
But the good thing is it's being abandoned anyway.
Yeah,
And,
it's been-
and the EFL have got their money, which
Yeah.
is great. But I think some of them have rejected money from the Premier League simply because they said they will just reject any sort of thing from the Premier League. So that means the lower clubs are just fuming with the Premier League as it is. So it is a big mess. But I think negotiations for a step forward need to be done really soon. So it's great. They've got the lower clubs. I've got their money, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
How clubs are going to now agree, the Premier League clubs, which I think majority of the lower clubs have been crying about, I don't know what they're going to start deciding.
Well, basically for me, from what I did a little bit of research about it way before, because there was a rumor going around that, which is probably not a rumor now. Now the Liverpool owners have brought out this plan. They want to make a Super League. They don't want to do the Champions League no more. So they want to do a Super League. So all the best teams in Europe, Barca, Real Madrid, they're all in one league, and they play each other each week, big matches each week. But guess what? There ain't no relegation. There's no cup competition. It literally is who finishes at the top of the league wins the Champions League or whatever it is.
But that kills football.
But that,
What
so
is
that
going
no,
on,
but what
man?
I'm saying is, like I said, it's a business move. At the end of the day, we're never going to get relegated. We do not have to fight top 4 in our own domestic league. That means that puts pressure on us to buy players for our managers who say that if we don't have enough better players, we won't get into the top 4. You know, but what about someone like Everton?
Yeah, no.
You know, and whatnot. The whole thing leads up to this, and this is where I always talk to football fans as well. Stop with this FIFA fair play nonsense that you're doing with Man City. I'm a Man United fan. It needs to stop. The nonsense needs to stop at the end of the day. You have owners who buy a football club with their own money. They want to put up their own money to help their club get better. And we are complaining because other owners are just not as rich as them and spending money.
No, because then it just matters about whose money is longer.
So guess what? If your money ain't long like that, sell Liverpool to someone else whose money is long. Sell Man United to who? Because guess what? Glazers, you're taking money out of the club. Yeah? Liverpool, it looks like their structure is, well, Klopp, you need to sell before you can buy.
Yeah,
You guys are all these billionaires and whatnot, but yet we're looking at Man City as like the bad guys who are actually spending money out of their own pocket. That's what fans want, no? You want your owners to put the same sort of passion you have into the club, the same way you buy shirts, the same way you buy season tickets. You're putting money into the club. They are also putting money into the club.
Yeah, no, I don't. I get what you're saying. No, I get what you're saying, but I don't. I just feel like it messes up the game because not everyone is gonna put money in like that. And you're saying they should, if they're not, then sell the club.
But guess what? That means fans stop complaining. Stop complaining.
Let's be a more level playing field, man.
Stop complaining about owners. Stop complaining about owners not putting money. Man United, stop complaining because you got Man United supporters saying, "Yo, the Glazers have taken $1 billion out of the club. They've taken 100 million in dividends, but yet the club down the road, you're complaining that their owners are actually putting money in their club, and you're saying FIFA fair play, they should get banned. You can't have it both ways. You cannot say that it should be fair for all owners, but then you complain when your owner's not putting money in the club, but complaining about other owners who are putting money in the club. It doesn't make sense to me.
What about Salford United? You happy with what they're doing?
Salford
City, sorry, they're in League 2 now.
Yeah, what
3-4 years ago, so the class of '92, Gary Neville, Beckham, Scholes, Nicky Butt.
But they've got the Valencia owner with them as well, who's pumping money into the team.
But you can surely understand, okay, this is not Premier League, but you can surely understand the lower league club saying that's not fair. You can't just do that.
They're bringing bit.
What I'm saying is that if it's not fair, sell your club to someone like that.
Yeah, but non-league clubs can't do that though.
But has everyone seen where Salford started from where they are now?
Yeah.
As a Salford fan, it's not a beautiful thing.
Yeah, but
for a team like that, for people like Neville and all that sort of stuff to come back to the community,
I love the story.
Bring money into the club. They're not even saying they're going to bring money into the club and not build up the stand. Look at them; they've got proper stands now.
No, I love what they're doing.
Their lights, their this, their kit's different. They're this, they're upgrading their training ground. They're upgrading their academy. They're bringing in a women's team. They're putting so much money into the club, but we're complaining that we haven't got as much money as you guys, so we can't do what you guys. Okay, so guess what? Get your thinking hats on and go and get investors. But guess what? You're so greedy sitting there, just getting your portion, and you know what? I'll get a meal, so let me put 100 grand in, or let me put 50 grand in, or let me put 200 grand. Guess what? The Nevilles are putting 500 grand in. They're putting 700 grand in.
No, but they're not. They're getting money from, like we said, the Valencia.
But guess what? Well. Because guess what? They're putting on their thinking. Do you think all these other owners don't know other rich people?
Yeah, I just feel like I think it's a football purist.
I think it's a contradiction with a lot of fans.
No, I hear what you're saying. Obviously, like Chelsea, they want to be successful without what they've done, and obviously Manchester City as well. So
you got to love what Abramovich has done for Chelsea.
But the American owners, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Manchester United, they won't do it. They just won't do it. Liverpool's model is great. It works well, obviously, with Michael Edwards as well. The way he gets his players and how he gets them through, which is fantastic. United, we've obviously heard what you've just said, and Arsenal as well. They rely so much on season ticket revenue.
Yep,
it's not sustainable. I think people always question whether it's going to be sustainable or not, but I hope it will be. Simply because when Manchester City, and Chelsea spend so much money, and then you see Liverpool win the league the way they've done with the sell to buy, it's great, and I hope it does work. I hear what you're saying.
The clubs earn too much money. That's my thing. Like when you break down what they earn from TV companies and all that, come on, they're not going to TV companies saying, you know what, the Premier League's getting much better, much bigger. You guys, that's all right. You guys have been supporting us for 10 years, Sky Sports. You give us less money. No, they want more money and more money and more money. But guess what? When us fans want our owners to put money in the club, we're complaining about another club. I don't get it. Their owners are saying, I know we obviously got oil money and that's completely different to NFL money and all that. But guys, we're going into our own pockets. We're not taking anything from Man City. We're not taking anything from the fans. It's our own pockets.
Yeah, before we get out of here, man, Champions League's commencing this week. Quick predictions. Who you backing to win the whole thing?
The whole thing?
Bayern.
I'm going to Bayern again.
So that's quick. I'm going Bayern.
You've added
Sane on top of that, what you had. Yeah.
Come on.
These Spanish sides are not going anywhere.
Barcelona's got a transitional job to do.
It's massive, if Van Dijk was alright, I might have fancied ourselves, but not anymore. Yeah, Bayern, definitely.
Juve?
No.
I'm not sure.
Well, Pirlo's coming is going to be interesting.
Maybe. But Bayern to me seem like the.
Yeah. They right now they're in their bag, man. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But
so for me, I'd go for that, man.
So we'll get out of here. Quick shout out to LeBron. Congratulations, he's done it.
Yeah.
4th ring. 3 different teams.
So Lomachenko, is it?
Lomachenko, yeah. Lopez, Teamifil Lopez.
Yeah, good. Congratulations.
Yeah,
to him as
congratulations,
well.
Lopez.
Yeah,
I didn't see that coming. Everyone regards Lomachenko as the pound for pound.
Yeah.
You know, he started way too late to get active. He got active around the 8th round.
Too late.
Lopez was very measured. Their game plan was spot on. He was aggressive. I do see a rematch coming because the probably
He's got to
was
be
a
champion.
rematch,
Rematch was, yeah.
He's unified with the belts now, which is solid. So they'll do a rematch. They'll run that back, and I think.
You think Lomachenko will want that?
Yeah, but no, yeah. Even towards the end of the fight, you could see because Lomachenko had a long layoff as well.
Okay.
But towards the end of the fight, he was getting stronger. Like you could see, kind of he started late. He was kind of putting the pressure on. So I think that's what it would do from the first or second round. But I mean, next week we'll be here again. Team Talk Podcast. Shahab, thank you for joining us. You'll see more of Shahab around the channel, as I've said before. Coach,
I just want to say quickly, subscribe, Team Talk TV.
Yes, you haven't even said that. Subscribe.
Samuel, the job you're doing is great.
Oh,
Coach,
appreciate it, man.
I've really enjoyed your rant on Ed Woodward today. Honestly, you guys are class, man, and I'm looking forward to joining you guys, Team Talk TV, and subscribe on my Twitter at Shahab LFC. I'm gonna make sure it goes viral. Yeah. If you're on Twitter, share, retweet, do all of that. So
we're growing, man. We're growing. All right, see you later, guys. Next week. Peace and love.